August 2018, we had $7,000 in the bank account, and we had $80,000 of monthly outflow, and we had 7 people. I want to thank everybody in this room because you made it possible that we survived. It's a very big thing for me, so to all of our customers and to our employees that made this a reality, I'm very appreciative. I never thought this would be like something like this, so thank you. Thank you for making that a reality. And I wanted to take a selfish selfie. So if you could all like smile and wave and say hi, that'd be very cool. Okay, let's get on with the show. Okay, you're all part of the founding story, so thank you very much. Today we're going to cover 3 things. How did we get here? Why are you here today? And where are we headed? So, events launched in 2019. And when we had the App Exchange listing up, we had lots of education leads, but nobody signed. USC Marshall was our first school that took the leap to become a customer. And if any of you know the education market, you all like hearing from your peers before you make the jump. So once USC Marshall came on, everybody else started to come on, which is awesome. And today, we have over 110 people. We're in 25 states, and we're in 15 countries. And we're operating at break even, which is, for a founder, it's very good for my sleep. So again, to our team, thank you very much, and this is like extremely impressive, so thank you. I myself am a Salesforce admin by trade. I'm not very good at the whole sales and marketing thing. I really like building stuff. So I would encourage all of you to please come to me during this and let me know what your feature requests are. If there's anything that we have that you don't like, let me know because it's software, we can change it. So please let me know. The number of education customers we have, 152. That's like, to me, it's just still crazy. It's great. Our platform has processed over 6 million registrations now. The current record, if you want to be up here next year, is Monash in Australia. Their open day had 30,000 people attend. We've run now over 500,000 events. And on our platform currently, kudos to engineering, we have 55,000 live events. It's pretty amazing. And we've sent 14 million text messages in the last 12 months. Savannah College of Art and Design, they sent 800,000, and Miami-Dade, 350,000 in the last year. So we can handle your volume. You're here today to learn. I think people come to events to learn and to network. So to learn, we have a lot of use cases that you're going to learn from. I think that the Salesforce platform and software in general are limited by your understanding of what they can do. So the University of Arizona, Harvard, Texas A&M, and University of Northern Iowa, they're going to share their strategies and their solutions to give you ideas about how you can use Blackthorn. We're also going to have that demo jam where I think it's important for people, again, to learn what's out there. So these are 3 vendors that we work with that you'll get some ideas of other ways you can utilize Salesforce. How the University of Colorado drives engagement. This is a very huge thing where they've used our platform for quite some time, and they actually have a central concept of a student that runs to multiple orgs, which I don't even know if that's going to be in their presentation, but I know it's what a lot of you have looked for, so I would ask Jeremy about that one. And from our roadmap, our key is to make events as successful as possible and to increase engagement. So again, let me know how we can help with that. So with meeting your peers, this is a very unique event. First of all, it's about Salesforce, then it's about education. So that alone, there's not a whole lot of these. But then if you add events to that mix, like I'm pretty sure this is the only one of these that's ever like come into existence. So say hi to your neighbors. Education people are very, very friendly. You'll also be able to meet a lot of people at our happy hour. It's very important for us to be able to meet you and to answer any questions that you have. So we're going to have a segment where you can ask our team anything. Again, that QR code at the bottom, if you open that, the way that's technically working, it's interacting with our core Salesforce org. This is running on our Blackthorn messaging application. When you respond, it's actually being ingested by our org, so we know the sender, and we can interact with you. We have this for record, and we can follow up and whatnot. And we're very excited to meet a lot of you in person. We pretty much only do Zoom, which it's bittersweet. It's great that it exists, but I really hate it. So it's great to be able to meet you all here. I love this quote from Dune. If any of you have read the book, but the movie was actually quite amazing, by Frank Herbert. From the top of the mountain, you cannot see the mountain. And to me, this means to always set the bar higher. I get very bored when I'm just sitting around with the same thing all the time. So I always have a few projects going to try to make things better. Again, more features. Let us know what it is that you're looking for. We have a much stronger relationship with Stripe that we're announcing. If any of you are on TouchNet, CashNet, Authorize.net, and you're up against your university seeing if you can add another gateway or what the options are there, please let us know. We can help you in a few different ways with that, with payment reconciliation, with more advantageous pricing. Again, a lot of stuff happening there. For our roadmap and AI session, we're going to cover a lot, but I'm going to give you a bunch of the high levels here. So I am, again, as an admin by trade and database person, I like the tech. I did not come over from a non-technical area, so our app tends to be a little bit more technical. If there's any IT people here in the room or admins, you're used to supporting your event planners that are coming over from Eventbrite that have never used Salesforce, and they need quite a bit of training. So one of our big initiatives is to focus on user experience. What you'll see here is our builder, and that's a huge initiative of mine that I'm working on with our team in order to add a ton of functionality into this thing. So again, we originally built the app for admins, but now the big focus is to get non-admins and to focus on ease of use. And the goal is that people who have never used Salesforce, which is a lot of people, they're coming into Salesforce just to run their events, to be able to run the event and never look at documentation. We also just released a new UI of our form builder. It's a heck of a lot easier than our prior one. It's live. It just got released last week. You can just upgrade. And what you'll see here is our messaging app. So we do have a mini announcement here. All of our events customers that are not currently messaging customers, you're going to get 1,000 SMS preloaded at no cost. Something that's very unique is that all of your users will be able to use this thing. Now, again, don't go like crazy. I know that's like a bad thing for a lot of enterprises. You can control the security and who can see what, but the purpose is it's not by user, it's just by usage. So you can enable all of your planners to interact with people by SMS. It supports blast and one-to-one SMS. You can have direct comms with students and constituents. I personally love texting over using anything else, so I'm sure your students probably do too. And this is a big thing that you can be used in your event comm strategy. You can get a direct line with all of your constituents. And our smart scheduler, if you've been receiving any of our SMSs for this event, no one's been sitting there clicking the button. These were all preset to be able to send. And if you're using our navigator, or receiving our emails or SMS, those are all driven from our smart scheduler. You all have these in your orgs, and you can just use that thing right away. So some quick enhancements that we're working on. From our product advisory board, we've heard big things about matching and deduplication. We have what we thought was pretty good functionality, and then you said you all need much, much more. So we are adding much, much more into that. The same thing goes with capacity. So we've added a ton of functionality around handling overselling, but now we have some events that are wildly popular that we're supporting. So we're doing some overselling functionality at scale. Sessions has a lot coming out. I believe this is coming in May-ish, where you can do required sessions, custom questions per session, and add to calendar on your sessions. You're going to have Apple Wallet and QR codes. I think this is also coming in the May-ish timeframe. The big benefit here is you can check in your attendees a heck of a lot faster instead of people scrolling through emails to find their QR code. And badge printing is another one of my little pet projects. If any of you have badge printing requirements, please come to me. We do have a pretty quick path we're going to be doing for this, getting going very soon. So we're announcing 2 new products today. One of them you have in your pocket if you received our email is Navigator. This is an attendee mobile app to my education. This is the first attendee app that does not need an integration being set up to Salesforce. All you do is you buy it from our team. And then you turn the thing on, and you don't have to install anything. It just gets enabled, and you just customize it, and the thing just goes live. It just works. So it works on iOS and Android. There's no headaches to be able to get this going. It'll give you real-time data, so you don't have to wait for people to get any kind of interaction before the integration. And pretty soon, we're going to have Agentforce running inside of this. And it's going to be available in a few months. So what you're going to hear from Margo, who's coming up here next and for the rest of the Education Summit, is all about Agentforce. To me, before I dove into Agentforce, I was like, oh, OK, this is just another one of these AI things that people are doing for marketing. It's not a real thing. This is bogus, whatever. It's actually a very real thing. So I spent a lot of time with our team building out all of the functionality to be able to tell this thing what to do. If you've all used ChatGPT, you just type in whatever you want, and it gives you the thing. What this does is it creates bounds around the data, so you can kind of direct people down a path. And it can control actions that you're setting up. So what does this actually mean? I kind of hate saying it, but it kind of can almost do anything. We're going to have this aiming for May to be available in all of our UIs. And I want to give you a lot of examples. So there's 3 paths. For attendees, they can do a lot of self-service. For planners, they can build the event faster. And then for planners also, you can get a lot of insights without having to go to reports and dashboards. And sometimes you get a lot more than reports and dashboards can even give you. So for an example, your attendee can say, transfer my ticket to tomorrow's event. How many people have to deal with that manually today? Like, what a pain. I can no longer attend, cancel my registration, and give me a refund. Did you know that Agentforce can actually process the refund so you don't have to go in there and do anything? Now, again, you can control turning this thing on and off. You don't have to do it. But we actually built this to run internally, and it works fine. I'd like to add an attendee to my existing registration. So let's say you registered 3 people, someone else wants to come. You want to add them to your existing, what do we call it, attendee group. It'll add right into that thing. Like, that's amazing. This is stuff that it takes the planner so much time to do. What if you wanted to have an event with your top donors, for anyone in advancement, from the last 12 months, and you wanted to build the attendee list? What if you didn't have to run a report and have lots of filter criteria and add a campaign and sync the campaign and do all this stuff that takes forever? You can just have one of your planners that's never used Salesforce and just type this thing into the chat, and voila. It just makes the attendee list. Change a form question, change your capacity, change the payment gateway. I just made stuff up. This is just data model manipulation that the agent can be able to do. We're giving it natural language context, which in fancy words, it just means like you're telling the thing what to do within the prompts. We're actually giving this on the back end as like some guidance, and it just follows orders. So sometimes, if any of you have used reports and dashboards, they're both amazing, and they don't really get you what you want sometimes also at the same time. So if you've worked with any people that are coming over from Eventbrite or other apps, they don't know how to use reports and dashboards. What if they just ask the agent for whatever it is that they want? So let's say you had to plan for how many vegetarian meals you wanted to have at the next event, but you wanted to do it based upon the last 5 events that you hosted. It'll just tell you. And we actually ran this internally to see if it works, and it does. How do these expenses compare to my last event? And what happens if you wanted to compare this to an ROI? You could actually compare these to either any kind of opportunities or other data model you have that would be monitoring donations or however else you're structuring that, so you can get your ROI from the event. What if you wanted to know how many student visits led to enrollments? That would be pretty cool to know. You can just actually ask the agent to be able to produce this for you. So if you don't remember anything from today, we want you to be successful. We want you to network, and we want you to have fun, because I tell this to my team all the time, and this has nothing to do with this. We're all here on Earth for a limited amount of time, and I think it's very important that we all have fun doing this. So please have fun and let us know what it is that you want in the application. Our next speaker is Margo Martinez. If you don't know Margo, and you're on Education Cloud or know anything about how education data modeling works, which is all of you because you're all here, that is due to Margo. She is the person that will help guide where this whole thing is going. And we are very happy that she is here to be able to speak with all of you today. She's the VP and General Manager of Education at Salesforce. So, Margo, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Chris. Awesome. I just absolutely love Chris's passion, and the fact that you're all part of this founder story. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, just to see how far Blackthorn has come as an amazing partner in the ecosystem, and all of the other incredible partners that are here also supporting this event. I'm here to share just a little bit about Education Cloud and Agentforce. You heard about some incredible functionality that Chris has on the docket coming right up. Agentforce, really, it is next generation in terms of how you're going to engage. And like Chris, I at one point thought, really, how real is this? Is this just a chatbot? Is this just something, and even this is someone who experimented with like neural nets and such when I was in college. This is really different. It's really game-changing. So forward-looking statements, I'm actually happy to give you a little bit of a sneak peek or preview into the keynote that's happening tomorrow, which we're a part of. I'm not going to steal all of our thunder, but I'll give you a little bit of what's to come, just as a part of being here for this amazing event. So this is a part of what you'll see tomorrow. Just really, and institutions are going through an enormous amount, just doing more with less. This is I would say if there's the one thing, this is the one thing that I hear from pretty much everybody in these events and beyond, is just we're having to do more with less. And it's I think starting to impact staff in a big way, especially in the current climate. Heavier workloads, more uncertainty, and then just, of course, the student well-being challenges and the need to support students through a lot of challenging times. And, I think just through being able to navigate work and life. But students also expect more. They expect more from their institutions. 24/7 support, the ability to really ask questions at any point. Proactive support, being able to identify where they're having challenges. And really, the ability to speak with them with a large degree of empathy so they don't have to repeat their stories over and over again. So how can institutions keep pace? I think one thing to think of when you're kind of navigating this is that institutions are increasingly looking at AI to help. And students have been there. Students are already there, right? They are leveraging these tools and other tools kind of in their day-to-day. But I do think it's interesting that in some surveying that we've done, 83% of institutions are enthusiastic about AI in some capacity to enhance their digital capabilities. And I think it's interesting also that so many of them are leveraging this in one form or another for their operations. And I think this is part of why we're here to learn from each other, right? Why we're here to understand what are those use cases that people are leveraging. How can they actually come together, and how can we share some best practices and things that are not working? How do we share policies we're putting into place? How we're ensuring that this technology is safe and trusted? So we've come a long way in an extremely short period of time. I've been in technology my entire career. I've never seen the level of change and pace that is happening right now in the industry writ large, much less in the education space. We, I think, started kind of this journey way back with chatbots, and then quickly thereafter moved into a world of everyone was talking about co-pilots. And this was those internal use cases where staff could get augmented support in the time of interacting with constituents, right? So help me engage with this, prospective student, with this student, and so on. Those co-pilot use cases are still with us. Those chatbots are still with us. All of that technology from before remains, right? Just as all of our databases, everything else remains. And now we're entering into this yet new era of what we're calling agentic AI. And so you hear these kind of concepts of what's the agentic layer, these agentic layer. It's agents, and really this is just around the ability to take action and to actually complete tasks and to go much further in terms of getting insights. So these agents can know your institution and the engagement that you're having with your constituents. They can have education-specific skills. They can make decisions with guardrails and with trust and with the autonomy that you would empower them with only. They can make those decisions, and they can rapidly scale. So this is game-changing. It is very, very different. And you saw some of these incredible examples that Chris shared earlier around how this is going to change the game for attendees in events when they can actually do things like change their schedule, like add participants, like cancel their registration if they're not able to make it, all through conversation. So instead of having to get in touch with someone, fill out a form. Did that form work? Did I fill it out properly? Okay, no, I'm still on the hook, et cetera, even get a refund. And I think also probably what's going to be more game-changing because of the workload situation I was just sharing is the impact that's going to have on staff who aren't going to need to sift through report after report after report to understand the profile of their attendees, what's happening with their events, what's driving ROI. All able to do this conversationally, which is very, very different from the world we've been in the past. So the question is, what if your workforce really had no limits? What if you were able to augment your staff, improve that student experience, improve the experience of really the student as a customer, and then boost your efficiency? What if you were really able to augment your teams and extend them and really get more done with less time? One of the other game-changing areas that Agentforce shows us is this concept of learning and reasoning. So actually reinforcement of correct behaviors or behaviors that are working. So in conjunction with Data Cloud and also Education Cloud, you can bring in unstructured data to Agentforce. And so PDFs, we have so much unstructured data or data in various locations. Data Cloud can actually unify and bring that data in, and then harmonize that data so that Agentforce can act upon it. Then we have the ability to actually reinforce, let's say, for example, that positive learning all through this kind of virtuous cycle. And so this is, again, very different in terms of the way that Agentforce operates in a traditional chatbot or traditional AI technology, which is kind of either going to just give you pre-built rules that you can respond with, traditional chatbot, or just current LLM technology, which is really just searching and responding with what it's trained on. No, this can actually get better. It can reason over time. So how does Education Cloud fit into this? So Chris shared that I lead our education sector within Salesforce, very focused on Education Cloud as a next generation platform. And Agentforce really helps us extend and underpin Education Cloud to help you do more with less with these pre-built back-end use cases. So you can really empower through all of the rich context that student or prospective student or alum, all the rich data that you have in Education Cloud can be leveraged potentially with Agentforce. And you can also ensure that that agent is acting with that 360-degree holistic view of that student, prospective student or alum. So, 4 opportunities to transform every education journey with Agentforce. You can really think about scaling that prospective student journey. Think about transforming that student kind of one-stop experience. Think about prospect research. We're actually going to be sharing some innovation that we have in the area of prospect research for advancement. And then the registration experience. Chris already showed some really powerful ways to think about that event registration experience. We can extend that to the application experience and then to the actual course registration process. So some really exciting use cases. And this is all about sharing and building upon and learning from one another as we explore these use cases. So we want to hear from you. Chris shared, bring him your product ideas. Please bring me your product ideas. Where you're getting stuck, where we can help you, where you're struggling, where you need help, and where that can either be served with Education Cloud or served with Agentforce. So this is just kind of a view of why Education Cloud and Agentforce are better together. You can use agents with or without Education Cloud. Agents are going to be there for you. Education Cloud makes that experience much richer, much deeper, and we're also building accelerators to help you get started with agents on Education Cloud. So we're looking at those use cases, looking at those best practices, and building out those starting points for you to get going more quickly and more effectively with Agentforce. And this is just the beginning, right? So here's been this incredible trajectory. Wow, that's not showing up great, but we have been focused on the education sector for over 10 years. Who here is familiar with EDA, Education Data Architecture? Lots of folks, awesome. EDA served us really well, and we learned from a lot of you in the community as we evolved with that. We built out purpose-built functionality over the years, and then we reinvented ourselves with Education Cloud, and now we're doing that, in a sense, yet again, with how do we extend Education Cloud with Agentforce. It's been an absolutely incredible journey, and a part of that journey has been our incredible ecosystem with Blackthorn, with our incredible SI partners. So definitely excited to have them and all of you along this journey with us. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm really excited for you to participate in this event and in Summit. And so really excited in general to meet all of you. Thank you so much.